Swamin namaste natalokabandho karunya sindho patitam bhavabdho mamuddharatmiya kataksha drishtya rijvyati karunya sudhabhivrishtya. Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhididitam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi grinanti ye Bhurida janaha Virachita bhayam Vrishnidhuriyate Charanamiyusham Samsriter bhayat Karasaroruham Kantakamadam Shirasi Dehinaha Shri Karagraham Yat Kirtanam Yat Smaranam Yadikshanam Yad Vandanam Yat Shravanam Yadarhanam Lokasya Sadyo Vidhunoti Kalmasham Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha Vichakshanayat Charanopasadanat Sangam Vyudasyo Bhayatontaratmanaha Vindantihi Brahmagatim Gataklamaha Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha Tasmai Subhadrashravase Namo Namaha. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. When you say these words, no? Namo Namaha, Namaste, the whole being should lie still at the feet of the Supreme Being. With that kind of feeling, always we should do pranam. Not just that, not just falling at the feet, but it should fill our whole mind with humility, with blessedness, with gratitude. These three things, if you remember always, the very first day I said that fill your mind with blessedness and also humility and gratitude. Gratitude that we have been led to this path. We have come to know what is truth. We have come to have a glimpse of the knowledge, what can make us truly fearless, unaffected, confident, and can make us experience eternal joy, eternal contentment, eternal peace in this life. We'll understand how to lead this life without getting affected in the face of any kind of calamity, any kind of adversity. So fill the mind with blessedness. I think that only this much is enough, to remember and feel blessed. Remember and feel blessed. When we work, we forget every other thing. All the shlokas that we have learned, we forget. All the knowledge that we have come to know, forget. But if we can remember only this much, that I am a blessed being, then everything will be done. So, we'll chant this shloka. I found you were chanting. Sanjay? Virachita Aitava Kathamritam and Virachita Bhayam and Mrishagirasta. Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam कविभिडीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः विरचिताभयं वृष्णिधुर्यते चरणमीयुषां संसृतेर्भयात् करसरोरुहं कान्तकामदं शिरसि देहिनः श्रीकरग्रहम्. I'll tell you the meaning again. Don't forget this. Tava kathamritam, the nectar of your excellences, your glory, your sport and deeds, about whom it is being said, the Supreme Being. Here it is Krishna. This is from Bhagavatam. Tapta Jivanam, all this nectar, when we hear about this, about the Lord, it revives the scorched spirit of man. We are always feeling tense, anxious, fearful, undecided, confused. It revives us, gives us new life. Kavibhididatam. And who tells us this? It is extolled to us by holy men. Holy men, those who know the scriptures, they tell us. Kalmashapaham. And it is purifying, very, very purifying. Kalmashapaham. Shravana Mangalam. It is auspicious to hear. Srimadaatatam. And it tells us about what? About that truth, about God, which pervades everything. Atatam. It is pervading everywhere. It talks about that truth. Ye bhuvi grinanti bhurida janaha. Those who sing the stories of your glories and deeds in this world, they are the best gift makers. They are giving us the best of gift. No other gift is as precious as this. Because what does it do when we hear? It takes away all our anxieties. And it is very, very purifying. Takes away all our tendencies which are undesirable. And it is also auspicious. Virachita bhayam vrishnidhuriyate. The second one. So here the Gopikas are calling out to Krishna and saying, "O the greatest of the Yadu's clan, the Vrishni clan, O the charmer of our hearts, Kanta, Naha Shirasi Dehi, please place your hands on our head." We all want hands, the holy hands, to be put on our head, to feel what? Fearlessness. To feel that we are secure, we are protected. So they are saying, "Oh Krishna, please place your hands on our heads. Karasaroruham, the hands which are like lotus. Beautiful they are. Shri Karagraham. And also, not only it is lotus-like, they are lotus-like, they are the hands who held the hands of Lakshmi in wedlock. Krishna or Vishnu married Sri Lakshmi, so Krishna has held the hands of Lakshmi in wedlock. Also, the hands are what? Virachita bhayam. It grants fearlessness. As we have seen in all these days, otherwise also you know, we cannot get fearlessness from anywhere. You may have a lot of money in the bank, lot of property, and lot of people around you, lot of qualifications, people respect you. Then with all that, we cannot have fearlessness. Fearlessness can be given only by the Guru, the Sadguru. And Sadguru is what? He is God Himself. Virachita bhayam. So these hands which grants fearlessness. Fearlessness from what? From the samsritehe bhayat, from this worldliness. The worldliness, it makes us constricted. We are always having lot of desires, possessiveness, clinging. All these are worldliness, ego. And because of that, and because of our own tendencies which bind us, we are always suffering. That is the worldliness. So your hands, we want on our head to be liberated from all that fear and the worldliness. And those who take refuge at your feet, you grant them all the boons. Whatever they wish, you grant them. And then the last one, Mrishagirasta hyasatir satkatha na katyate yad bhagavan adhokshajaha tadeva satyam taduhaiva mangalam tadeva punyam bhagavad gunodayam tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam tadeva shokarnava shoshanam nrinam yaduttama shlokaya nugiyate. It says, those words which do not contain anything about God, anything about the Supreme Being, they are false and untrue. They are mrisha and asatihi, asat. And those words or compositions which deal with description of the Lord, about Him, then the glory of the Lord, they are tadeva satyam, that is the truth, taduhaiva mangalam, that is auspiciousness, tadeva punyam, and that is holy. Tadeva ramyam, that is beautiful. That is why all of us are listening. And ruchiram, very tasty. And not only beautiful and tasty for a while, navam navam, newly, always newly. Whenever we hear, we find something new. So we come back again and again. Tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam. And it is, for the mind, it is eternal festivity, great festivity, mega festivity. Also, tadeva shokarnava shoshanam nrinam. And for human beings, these talk or discussions or words about the Supreme Lord, it takes away, dries up all the sufferings and afflictions of people. So these are very good slokas. You can, if you can chant, you can chant. Otherwise, you can remember the gist of all that. Now, the thing is that we were discussing what is a bhakta. That bhaktas, we should always see whether as a bhakta, as a devotee, we have the qualities of a bhakta. Now, in Bhagavatam, Shukadeva is saying, just now we have heard these slokas we chanted, especially the last one, which says that whichever talk or word or discussion, composition does not talk about the Lord, they are false and untrue. And if it discuss, then these are the things. It is. So Shukadeva actually told Parikshit, who was cursed by the son of Shamika Muni. What was the curse? The curse was that he will die on the seventh day by a serpent biting him. So Parikshit understood that though he has been a great devotee of the Lord Mahavishnu, and he was quite, thinking that I am a devotee, he was otherwise also a noble king, very good king, looked after his subjects very well. But he understood that even being so, since he did not have sufficiently the qualities of a bhakta, he got suddenly annoyed. By what? Because When he called the Muni who was meditating, called for water, he was thirsty himself. He called the Muni. Muni did not get up because he was in Samadhi. And Parikshit got annoyed. So anyway, the curse followed. The Munis, the Rishis, Shamika Maharshi's son cursed him. So Parikshit was thinking that all this time I thought I am a devotee. But now that I understand I am not. I am attached to my kingdom, my queen, my princess, my property, my wealth, my treasury, and all the army that I have. I am attached to that. So I will take this curse as a blessing. This is what every seeker, every devotee should do. When adversities fall, we must make out of it some kind of enlightenment in the mind, enrichment and elevation of the mind. So he says that I will take it as a blessing, and now I will leave everything, and now that only 7 days I know is there, only for 7 days are there for my life, I will one-pointedly think of Mahavishnu. So he left the kingdom, went to the river bank, sat down there in Prayopavesha. What is that? Leaving food and drink. Everybody gathered there. And all from elsewhere also, from celestial, from the skies also, so many Maharshis came down, Siddhas came down to see what happens. By that time, Shukadeva was passing there. Shukadeva was a young boy, son of Vyasadeva, and he is a Siddha. He is a self-realized person right from birth. He was just going that way. And seeing him, everybody got up. Parikshit did puja for him, and then making him sit down, asked him, my life is only for 7 days. Please tell me, what should one person whose death is imminent, what should he think? What should he remember? What is his duty? What chanting he should do? What worship he should do? Like this few things. And what he should not do. That is, yesterday I was saying that it cannot be that we spend our time in spiritual practices or devotional practices for some hours, and rest of the hours we pursue something else by which we fall down. So he also asked, please tell me what I should do to be a true devotee, to have one-pointed devotion. Mukta samasta bandhanaha. That is, my devotion should be rid of any kind of attachment, clinging to anything. My devotion should be only for the Supreme and the Supreme alone. I want to learn that. And please tell me that what I should not do so that I am successful in my pursuit. I have got only 7 days in my hand. This is a question for everybody. All of us, we do not know whether we have 7 days or 17 days or 70 days or 1 hour even. We do not know when the body will fall. So this is so relevant for every human being. And we should take this as a question of ourselves. So Parikshit sat down and Shukadeva started replying him. You know what Shukadeva said at first? He said, Variyanesha te prashnaha krito lokahitam nipa atmavit sammata pumsam shrotavyadishu yah paraha. He said that, O king, you have asked a very great question. Why great? Because this question, which will be approved by and encouraged by all the people who are self-realized, they approve it, your question. And this is very good question, the greatest question, because whatever reply I give, it will be for loka hita. It will be for the benefit of people. Whatever I will tell you now, not only for you, for ages and ages, it will be benefiting everybody. Then you know what he says. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nrinam Santi Sahasrasha Apashyatam Atmatattvam Griheshu Grihamaidhinam. He says that, O king, there are so many things to hear for men. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nrinam Santi Sahasrasha. What is Sahasra? There are 1,000 things which are there in this world to hear and to discuss. So many things are there. But people, they engage in those and they are not interested in hearing about Atma Tattva, about one's own self, about God. People spend their time discussing all those 1,000 and more things which is not connected to Atma. Griheshu Grihamedhina, that is, the people who are the householders. Swamiji was saying, no, bulb holders and householders. So people who are holding on to their house, in their house, though there are so many other things, you can be interested in listening to Atma Tattva. Most of them are not. Even if you listen for how long? How long? Everybody conveniently listens. Everybody conveniently comes for listening. And if the time exceeds, see, we have seen that this global satsang, which time is about up to 9:15, 8 to 9:15. So if it exceeds, so many people drop off. They switch off and go away. Maybe they go for dinner or whatever. So people conveniently listen. Whichever time, suppose we tell you, listen, all arrangements are done, so stay here. Will you stay here? All will go away. You will show some excuse or other and you will go away. So, apashyatam atma tattvam griheshu grihumedhinam. So, even for a little while, people are not ready to listen. Nidraya hriyate naktam vyavayena chavavayah diva charthe haya rajan kutumba bharanenava. Night is spent in sleeping and daytime we have to earn money, that is essential. And diva charthe haya rajan kutumba bharanenava. Also, the day is spent in looking after the family. One has to do. So, there is no time. Okay, that's agreed. There is no time. But is there no time really? There is so much time just for ourselves. As I always say, when we take bath, when we take food, when we walk, when we dress up, when we just go for sleeping, just before sleeping we can think about it, we can read something. That we don't do. Whenever we are, see now, who was telling me? Somebody was telling me when I was taking lunch or whatever. All of you are sitting in groups and chanting shloka. Were you doing it earlier? How many days have passed? You have not done. And I'm very sure some of you are just grouping and talking other things. Is it not? So, our day goes like this. Many things, it's not that you should always be very tense and only talking about God. Anything elevating is okay, but don't waste time. So he says that it is like this. Okay, for a householder it is like this. But Dehapatya kalatradi atma shainyeshva satsvapi tesham pramatto nidhanam pashyannapi na pashyati. What is that? Deha, that is one's own body. Apatya is children, son. Kalatra, wife. Adishu, etc., relatives. One thinks that they are the people who will protect me. They are my soldiers. My family are my soldiers, my army. They will protect me. They forget that they are asat, unreal. They are impermanent. Any time they will die or they will go away. So, tesham pramatto nidhanam pashyannapi na pashyati. So, even seeing that everything that we hold on to and think that these will protect me, these are mine, this belongs to me, and will protect me from ever. Actually, it is not. So they remain intoxicated with that feeling of belongingness, mindness, I-ness, and even though they are seeing that everything is impermanent, fleeting, transitory, na pashyati, they do not think about it. So he started the Bhagavatam like this. Tasmad. Then he says, Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma. This is second skandha from 1 to 5 I am taking. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. So Tasmad means therefore. Therefore, O King, Bharata Sarvatma. Bharata is in addressing the king, he said that Bhagavan, who is the Ishvara, who is Sarvatma, who is the soul of everybody, Shrotavyaha, he is Shrotavyaha, he is the one about whom we should hear. Kirtitavyasya, we should praise him and sing his glory. Smartavyaha, we should remember him. Chet Ichhata Abhayam. If you want fearlessness, Abhayam, then you must do this. You must listen, you must sing his glory, and you should remember. For what? And this not to be done only for 2 hours in the morning or 1 hour in the morning. Not to be done only during the satsangs. Many of you are in satsangs. So not to be done during that. What we are trying to understand? To be connected to God. Always, always, always. How? How do we do it? How do we do it? That is our problem. So I had a very beautiful conversation, I used to always, that day also I read out something. I had asked Swamiji, how do I see God everywhere? He said that why you are standing in my room, seeing all the things in my room. What thought comes to you first? So I said, I feel that this is Swamiji's cot, this is Swamiji's bookshelf, this is Swamiji's feet, like this. So is not your thought immediately getting associated with the word Swamiji? Similarly, when you go into the world, anything and everything, you can think that this is God's. So with the eye we see something, and the mind tells us what? We should make the mind get habituated to apply it and feel that this is God's. It is a habit that we have to make. So sometimes I have some conversations with Swamiji. So this is, in Bhagavad Gita, this word comes quite often. Nitya Yukta. You understand the meaning? Nitya Yukta. Nitya means always. Yukta means united. That is, Nitya Yukta means always united. Always united with God. That is what we are trying to see how we can do. When we hear something about God, or we are, contemplating on Him, or we are listening, not only listening, chanting. Even in chanting we are getting, that kind of a feeling. So many people said that we are get transported when these chantings are done. Yes, really so. But then at the other times how? So I asked Swamiji about one shloka in Bhagavad Gita. What is this shloka? Maya veshya mano ye mam nitya yukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaha te me yukta tamamataha. So, those who infuse themselves in me, or with their mind, they have completely reposed in me. They worship me through a note of constant identity. That is, we worship Generally when we worship, we make many things, we get many items, and then we worship. But here, what the devotee is trying to do, to be anchored, remaining anchored, nitya yukta, remaining anchored with him, worshipping him. Worshipping with what? Just with the mind, not with anything else. Thus, just with the mind, you feel that I am anchored with God. And with what? Considering this to be the highest attitude and aim. You get it? That is, it's an attitude and aim. That is, I can consider this to be one aim of my life. Through all these things, we are only talking about that. That is the aim. Keep it as an aim. That aim you should love, to be constantly associated. How will you feel him? That Govinda Parirambhitaha, thinking that I am surrounded by him, I am embraced by him. He is everywhere, inside, outside, up, this side, that side, up and above, below. So I asked Swamiji, this sloka, Maya veshya mano emam nitya yukta upasate, shraddhaya parayopetaha, teme yuktatama mataha. So, Krishna is telling that whosoever, having infused me in their mind, that is keeping me in the mind, they worship me, remaining absolutely identified with me, considering this to be the greatest and highest aim in life, I consider them to be yuktatama. What is yuktatama? The most united. That is their union with God. That anchoring is very stable. Stable. They won't fall. For us, what happens? For some time we feel that we are feeling him, then we fall. We are not able to keep it always in the mind. So I said, Swamiji, please explain this sloka. Explain this word, aveshya, mai aveshya. What does this word aveshya mean? So, Swamiji said, all that the devotee has to do is take his mind and fix in God, with inspiration towards God. What is that? That is, we think about God, and with lot of inspiration, we fix our mind in God. How will that be? All these days, these last 5 days I have been chanting so many slokas and telling you, hearing about him, chanting about him, contemplating about him, and remembering him, dwelling in his name, that constantly doing so, our love towards him grows. And when that love grows, automatically we'll be inspired. And with what knowledge? If we can remain anchored, what will happen? All undesirable qualities will fall off from the mind. So, Swamiji says, this is the motivation and the springing point. If you have aveshya, that is, you like him, and you feel that you want to be anchored, that is the springing point. And then comes the yuktata, being stably united with him. So I asked him, okay, Swamiji, how will this aveshya come? You know, I would talk to him sometimes, and generally, there is actually earlier there's a lot of conversations used to be there. Now I'm also very busy. So generally when I'm giving him food, I will be asking questions. And now there is a facility to record it with the phone. So I'm asking. Yuktata, Swamiji says, yuktata is getting fixed in the mind. So I asked Swamiji, what is this aveshya? How will it come? So how will it come? Think about God. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha matta sarvam pravartate. I have told you this sloka earlier also, that understanding that from God everything has come. God is the source of everything, And he has the power of sustenance and he has the power of dissolution. Not only that, there are many other slokas, in Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Bhagavad Gita, whether it is Bhagavatam. Find out and read about him, his glory, so his majesty, so that we understand it is from him that we have got our life. When we understand that, then the thought is constantly to be united with him, to be resting upon him, to be thinking of him, and to be imbued by him. That becomes the aim. What was the aim earlier? That God is everything. I feel very connected to God, I should be. But what does that mean really? That is relying on him, thinking on him, being imbued by him. So, my question is that, I think that should be all of you must be asking the same question. When we are doing worship, when we are reading, when we are listening, when we are singing, we can have that feeling. But how does that gain intensity? How will our love for God increase? And always, not only during these devotional practices and not only during contemplation, at all times, how the intensity can become greater and greater. How will that wholesomeness come? That one-pointedness come? Now we find that our mind goes here and there. So, Swamiji says, this will be done by abhyasa. Mark this point. Abhyasa. What is that? Practice. And in the practice, one may be feeling I am practicing. I start the practice. What is the practice? That is what we have been telling. That try to think about him, feel that he is around you, feel that he is inside, feel that knowledge itself. So many slokas we have done. And through that, whatever knowledge you get, try to feel it on and off, whenever your mind is free, whenever your mind is not engaged in something very important professionally or even in the household. Feel it. And it is just like when one cycles, learns cycling. When we start learning cycling, one doesn't know cycling, so what will happen? Many times you will fall. You get up again and again do it. It is just like that. Any practice is like this. So what are we wanting to gain? We are feeling that my connection with God gets broken. It remains for some time, but at other times I simply forget. Maybe at the end of the day I feel that my whole day I have discussed this, discussed that. Some definitely was necessary, some unnecessary, and I simply did not think of my connection with God. So, what is the process? Habit, practice. Okay, whenever you feel so, again start getting connected. Again bring in all the knowledge that you have got. Start feeling him. So, in cycling, you fall many times, and after that you get up and start again. And a time comes, what happens? You can even cycle without your hands free, right? So, having a faith that if I practice well, I will be able to reach that state. But what we have to think while doing this practice, that he is everything, everything is enveloped by God, and I do not have to do anything except, mark these words, very, very important. I do not have to do anything except keep this attitude of wholesome oneness with him. Do you get it? Nothing we have to do. It's very, very, very simple. You are not asked to do any mantra. You are not asked to chant any shloka. You are not asked to do some very big problem, solve some equations. Only feel that he is there everywhere. And he is everywhere, enveloping me also. This thought, whatever you do with this thought. Sometimes you may forget, just like learning cycling, but slowly you will find that you will be able to get back. So, in spirit, in attitude, in purpose, in objective, you have to keep this in your mind. And also, very important is that make sure that you don't resort to anything else. What did Parikshit say? Please tell me what I do not have to do. You understand? Please tell me what we do not have to do. Otherwise, if those are also not specified, so what are those here? I come back here and tell all these practices. What are we now trying? We have seen lot of things. Our mind has really felt that we can become a person who is constantly remaining anchored in God. But why do we fall off? So, this is what makes us fall off. And we are trying to find that. All our impurities, they take us away from this anchoring. What are the impurities? Desire, possessiveness, and ego. So, don't resort to desire, possessiveness, and ego, and make sure in the day, while you are awake, whatever you are doing, what we are doing, thinking. When you are awake, right from the time we get up, we are thinking. We are thinking, we are speaking, we are interacting, we are having some activity. In all those, do not resort to anything like desire, possessiveness, and ego. So, ultimately, where we come to? Introspection. We have to be very, very alert and introspective to see that subtly, even subtly, we do not have desires and we do not have possessiveness or ego. So that is, whatever I speak, whatever I do, whatever I think, everything should be revolving around God. Now, see, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that there are three ways of connection to God. Very simple one, we all do. Doing prayers, doing worship. And Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, whatever you need, even if you do not have anything else to offer to me, a leaf, a flower, a little water even, if you do not have flower or leaf, little water even, smear with bhakti and offer to me. So, now the question is that kind of connection and anchoring we are having only for two hours, 1 hour and all that. What about the other work? Rest of the work, many of you are doing household work, some are going to the market to buy things, some are going for some kind of professional work. What about that work? So, Krishna says that yes, what you should do is that not only this act you are getting is very important for all of us because we are active. We are not sitting and just thinking or meditating or worshipping. We are active. In morning, from the time we get up to the time we sleep, we are doing something or other. So, what should be our attitude then? We are finding that when we are singing and this, that, it is very easy. As soon as you go out from here, or from the discussions, or from contemplations, you are lost. So how to remain anchored even at that times? And the majority part is when we are active. So Krishna says that then also think whatever actions you are doing, all that actions should be offered to God. Think of God and feel that you are acting for God. How will you feel that? Suppose we say that I have offered to God. I did this thing. Today, all the work that I did in the office, actually I have offered to God. Does it mean anything? What is that attitude or knowledge by which we will say that we have offered? It has been offered. So he says that swakarmana tvam abhyarchya. Swakarmana tvam abhyarchya. Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tvam abhyarchya. Siddhim vindati manavaha. So he says that yata pravrittir bhutanam, all the actions are emanating from me, and that me, that God, is in everything, all pervading. So to that God now you offer. Where were we doing? We were trying to worship God in idols, images and all that. Now where is the deity? The deity is the all-pervading God, everywhere. So whatever we do, right from say our every act of our body to all the professions that we are in, everything is offered to God. This attitude you must have. Now, even this work when we do, did you get? So I am worship that God which is present everywhere. The whole process is inside. And this whole world is an idol. God has created it. What we make an idol and we worship. Now what we are doing, the whole world is idol, we are worshipping Him. We saw that shloka, Kham Vayumagnim Sarilam Mahimcha, Haresh Shariram, everything is Lord Hari's body. So thinking that whatever we do, even keeping a chair here or something here, everything is God's. Now, here, we have to be we have to bring in our mind and intelligence. What kind of work we should do? It's not that we just say, I have offered. What becomes an offering, we have to understand. With what attitude we should work, so that it becomes an offering. And we also feel elevated, purified. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that Tasmad asaktas satatam karyam karma samachara. Every work do with no kind of sangha, no kind of clinging to the work or the result of the work. Samachara, but do it well. Excellent. You all are youngsters. You should learn this. Sama achara, that is, you do it excellently well, perfectly well. But without getting bogged down and being obsessed that I should be appreciated, I should get honor, or I should be, everybody should look to me that very skilled person. Not that. And what is the result of the action? Whatever we do, if we do excellently well, whatever has to happen. Sometimes it may be successful, sometimes may not. Accept it. So, tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara. And also, if you take it devotionally, tava priyartham. What is this? There is a sloka, Lokesha Chaitanya Deva Shrikanta Vishnu Bhavadajñayaiva Pratas Samuthaya Tava Priyartham Samsara Yatram Anuvartaishi. My dear children, it is a very, very simple sloka, 2 lines. But what it is? The devotee is calling God by many names. I told you that devotee calls God by many names because he likes God. So many names he has given. Jataha Anuragaha. Evam Vrata Swapriya Namakitya Jatanuragaha. Anuragaha gets born. Anuraga is what? Love. Love for God gets born because of the love that we have. We call him with so many names. So the devotee is calling the name. Lokesha, hey Lokesha, you who is the Bhagavan or God of all the world. Chaitanyamaya, you are the consciousness. Adideva, primordial being. Shrikanta. Shrikanta is the consort of Lakshmi. Vishnu. Bhavat Ajnayaiva. So these names he has given. He has called him with these names. Lokesha, Chaitanyamaya, Adideva, Shrikanta and Vishnu. Bhavat Ajnaya Eva. By your Ajna or your order. What has happened? Pratas Samuthaya. Next line, see. Pratas Samuthaya. What does it mean? I have got up in the morning. It's true. We feel we get up in the morning. But who actually opens our eyes? Is it under our control? When we will get up, exactly at what point? Someday it will be open at one time, another day, another time. Similarly, when we go to sleep, we are on the bed, our head is on the pillow, and we'll be thinking something. Actually, that thought, at that time we can think of God. And that time, exactly when the eyes have closed, we don't know. It's not under our control. So we have no control over how we sleep off, how we get up. When we get up, pratas samuthaya, we get up into a new day. And it is all because of his wish. Some days, for some people, he doesn't wish to make them get up. So they are dead on the bed. It happens, no? In this world with so many people living, for so many cases must be like this. They don't get up. Because God has felt that he should not get up. So, pratas samuthaya. Understanding this, see, these few words are very important. Bhavat ajnayaiva pratas samuthaya. By that I should understand that I have no control over my life. No control. It is being controlled by a supreme being, a power, you can call it God, call it Brahman, call it Paramatma, or you do not call it anything, but there is a power which makes us get up. And understanding that, the day when it starts, we should also understand all the work that we face in the day, from morning till night, is also given by him. We feel we have to do this, we plan this, we plan that. That planning also is his. The success of the planning sometimes will take place, sometimes it will not, sometimes something else will come. Many days it happens, right in the morning I'll feel that today I will write this. And when I get up, so many other work comes. And the whole day passes of only 3 lines, maybe I have written. That happens to everybody in their different spheres of life. So we can plan only. Sometimes the plans will be according to what happens. But otherwise, it is only being planned by somebody. So, if that is so, all the work that comes, the devotee is saying, Bhavat ajnayaiva pratas samuthaya tava priyartham samsara yatram anuvartaishye. All the work that is awaiting me in the day, some I like, some I don't like, some I am able to do, some I am not able to do. Some people I like, some people I don't like. All that I understand is designed by you, your wish. So, I will live this life and do everything tava priyartham. Because I like this life, that I am grateful that you have given me one more day. So, all the work that you have given me also, I will do to please you, for your pleasure alone. By what? By that we are only thinking that he has given us this life, not only the life, our limbs, our body, our limbs, our senses, our mind, our intelligence, our ego, everything is given. Everything is enlivened by him. So, this is what one should think. And see, this tava priyartham, if we think deeply, we should always compare ourselves with the nature. We are always wanting that we should be praised, appreciated, we should be able to do the work very well. Sometimes it doesn't happen. We feel that we have done it very well, but the boss may not feel that you have done very well. So you will get some thrashing from the boss. All those will happen. But, we should simply be natural. Try to do whatever you can in the best manner with all soul and heart, just like the nature. Look at that. This Nishagandhi flower, it blooms. By 8 o'clock it starts blooming, 12 o'clock it becomes full, and by 4 o'clock it closes. And where does it bloom? Somewhere. It blooms to its perfection, not expecting that anybody will come and see me and appreciate me. It is doing it because that is its nature. Look at the mango trees. Even if you have cut some branches, right in summer there will be flower, there will be fruit, and it will be giving us. So like that, we are also the creation's doings. So we human beings, we should also keep that kind of a natural feeling in our mind. Doing what? Remembering. What did I say? My conversation with Swamiji, what is it trying to tell? That whatever you do not forget this. What is it that we should not forget? That God is everywhere. He alone is doing. And you are in this life being propelled by God. So never forget that. And that is that Govinda Parirambhitaha. We have to do nothing except constantly remembering this. Not only remembering, not remembering just like a mechanically remembering. Feeling it. So, now question comes, see, we have done the work, but many times we are not able to do the work with soul and heart. Many times we are doing the work grudgingly or blamingly or with a dislike, with a little bit of lethargy. What of that? What do we do? So Krishna is saying that Ishvara sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna tishtati Brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudhani mayaya tameva sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata yat prasadat tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam. What is saying? That it is from Bhagavad Gita. He says that, don't worry, Arjuna. Even if you are not able to offer all your work, offer all your bhavas also. Whatever bhava, every bhava, because He alone is. We are from His. We are His product. So all our bhavas together, that is also His. So whether it is good, bad, with anger, with not anger, everything, all the bhavas, fear, fearlessness, everything offered to God. And so, how we are constantly feeling Him? Suppose you are doing any work. You have done it according to you, to the best of your ability, with all concentration, whatever you can do, you have done. But still, it is not up to the mark. Maybe neither you are satisfied or not others are also satisfied. So sometimes there will be hopelessness. Sometimes you will feel that I have done so much, but everybody said it is not done well. So this, you get hurt. So all this getting hurt, expecting appreciation but not getting it, all these things are very common things which the mind constantly has to face. So what do we do? All these bhavas also. Understand that everything is a self. Everything is a self. Everything is God. There is nothing beyond it, nothing other than it. So all that we do, whether we do the work in this manner or that manner, all the bhavas that we have, everything is included in that. Do you get it? So, what should we do? I'm thinking of what I should tell you to explain this thing. Maybe I have told earlier also. When we were in Kharagpur, there was one Swamiji who used to take Upanishad classes. So he was, during the winter, he used to stay in Uttarkashi and Rishikesh. But during winter season, he would come down to Kharagpur. He had some disciples there. So we heard that he teaches Upanishads. So wrote to Swamiji that we want to attend these classes. And Swamiji was very happy. He said yes. He was very strict. Very, very strict. If you will come, he would tell everybody that if you come regularly, you should come. If you don't come regularly, don't come. So for every day, so naturally he had very few students, because all could not go. And if you had not gone one day, he will ask you, and then in his talk, he will make you feel and understand and make others also feel that how we are constantly justifying our lack of yearning. Lack of yearning that we have, we will be constantly justifying that. So anyway, so he used to say that he was staying in the then the head of the computer center there in IIT, in his house. They were his disciples. But he would say that, see, for a sannyasin, it is not right that one takes food from one family. Sannyasin should go around and beg for food. Naturally, he was old, nobody would allow him to go around. So, very often he used to say that. So then I thought that maybe he's hinting that some of us should take up that job of bringing his bhiksha. So one day I said that, Maharaj, I don't know whether I'm eligible, but if you feel I'm eligible, I would like to bring your bhiksha one day, someday. So he said, yes, you can bring. And one day he fixed, suppose it was Tuesday. Then, so we went and bought new vessels for bringing the food, new vessels to cook the food, one new bag to bring the vegetables. And I don't know how, maybe that samskara was there, maybe because of the yearning. What I want to say is that, in this path, we have to become more and more sattvic in nature. And if the yearning is there, that sattvic bhava will come. You will automatically understand what is sattvic, in what you can become more and more sattvic. So, the bag that we would take to the market to buy his vegetables, we would never keep on the floor. And also, we would never bring our vegetables in the same bag. And will not buy for us that day. We'll bring only for him, which is to be given to him. So all these things done. Then the day came, and chanting my mantra, I was cutting, chopping, and with lot of bhakti, I'm thinking that I should be very, very concentrated while making his food, because we heard that he's so sensitive. If he would understand if you have not cooked with a pure mind, and if it is not a pure food, he will simply not touch it. So that fear was there. So I cooked very simple food and took it to him and got the opportunity to sit there and serve him food also. He took his bhiksha and said that very pure food. So I passed that day. I'm very happy. Then again next Tuesday came. Next Tuesday again I did the same thing. Again he said it's very good. But every Tuesday I was becoming very tense. I would be very tense that suppose today I am not able to put all my bhakti into my cooking, then what will happen? So I would become very tense. Then I was thinking one day that, what is this? Such a blessed opportunity. And I am becoming so tense and so fearful. Then one revelation was there. I felt that only one day of the week, which is specified to me, on Tuesday, I was trying to cook food in a very holy and pure manner, thinking that it is an offering to Him. Suppose I make it every day with that kind of attitude, it will become my habit. And I won't have to do it particularly, specifically for one day. It will become my habit. So that was such a revelation. And I tried to do that. Then I understood it is not only in cooking. In everything actually, every work we should do with that kind of an attitude. It is an offering. It has been given to us. And so we should do that as an offering. Whether it is cooking, whether it is serving food, whether it is folding clothes, whether it is going to the market, whether it is interacting with anybody. In the kitchen, people will come and work in the kitchen. Here in our Annakshetra as well as Swamiji's kitchen also, few people work together. So each will take one cloth, wipe a place, and then crumple it and keep it and go away. So one day suddenly I was telling whosoever working, when I look at that, I feel this cloth is crying. Cry means when we do lot of work, we sweat and we feel that we should take bath. So I was telling that, you should not keep like this. They have done so much of work of cleaning the platforms and they are feeling very dirty. So whenever we use these cloths, we should rinse them well, squeeze them and spread them so that they feel very happy. Why are we feeling like this? We are feeling, even though it is a non-living thing, immobile thing, we feel that there is self in that. Anything which is tera mera, make it straight. Your eye should fall in that. Why? Because everything is God. Everything is God. You come to sit on asanas, or see every day you are sitting on this paya. How you fold them, how you keep them. It should be done with that kind of a feeling that everything there is God. So these are the practical things that we can do. However much we read the concepts, so I am taking some Bhagavad Gita shlokas, it doesn't mean anything really. We have to bring it to our own everyday work, everyday thought, everyday speech, action, interaction, thinking that everywhere He is there. So, this feeling that I have offered, just a word will not do. How have I offered? What thought? With thought. The thought is that He is everywhere. Everything that has got this consciousness, it is He who has given us this life, He who makes us get up, He who is the one who is giving, we are going to sleep because of Him. And what is, so that offering becomes an offering only then. Also when we work, we should work with what? Without any kind of sangha, clinging. The karma has become sattvika when niyatam sangarahitam aragadveshata kritam apalaprepsuna karma yattat sattvika muchyate. The sattvika karma, when we have to do, we feel that we should do our work in a sattvik way, then niyatam sangarahitam. Don't be attached to your work, whatever you are. Suppose especially in groups, you should not feel that I am having an important work, I am not having an important work, or I have whatever I have done, nobody recognized it, others has been recognized. All those things come very, very commonly in our mind. So niyatam sangarahitam and aragadveshatakritam. We should not have any likes and dislikes. Whatever work comes, we should be able to do it with what? Samachara. Very, very nicely. Very beautifully we should be doing it. And aphala prepsuna. Put your mind and heart in it, and whatever result comes, if the result is what we planned and what we wished, it is very good. But suppose it doesn't come. It happens it doesn't come, did not come. Then also we should be absolutely without any kind of feeling of sadness or grief. Nothing should be there. So I will teach you two shlokas. Two shlokas for, it will be very useful if you can learn this. How should be our life? One is Vani Gunanukathane. Actually, these shlokas would have been nice. Vani Gunanukathane Shravanau Kathayam. Now you have to know, I have told you many things, we have done many things, we have discussed many things, but ultimately it is the practice that you should be doing. And I am, my whole life, I think I have loved sadhana. Even now I love sadhana. And I love, I don't think there is any more aim anymore. So, but I love to become pure and purer. From my childhood, I have only looked for purity. So all these things, which tells about God, or what we should do, what should be our attitude, it gives me a lot of joy. So this is one shloka by which, we can become sattvic. What is purity? Slowly we should get rid of our rajasic and tamasic tendencies and become sattvika. Vani gunanukathane shravanau kathayam hastau cha karmasu manastava padayornah smrityam shirastava nivasa jagat praname drishtis satam darshanestu bhavattanunam. Vani gunanukathane. So let it be a practice. What is the practice that I would like you to do? Feel blessed. First of all, think you are a seeker or a devotee. That is your first identity. First identity is that. And you are trying to become a true devotee with the qualities of a devotee. You want to imbibe. So what is the practice? Feel blessed, feel grateful, feel humble. And then certain things you try to do. You have that aim and try to do it. But suppose you fall sometimes, doesn't matter. Don't condemn yourself. Just get up and start again. And you should tell each other what? We want to become one-pointed devotee. We want to become ananya bhaktas. We want to spend our time thinking about the self or Brahman, most of our time, not waste our time. So Vani Gunanukathane, that is, our words should be devoted to the narration of your excellences. Macchitta madgata pranya. This is from Bhagavatam. In Bhagavad Gita it is there. Macchitta madgata pranaha bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha macchitta. So you have to become macchitta. Unless you become macchitta, and what is macchitta? Your heart is for God. You become very fond of Him. You are always thinking of Him. You want to make Him your dear and the nearest and nearest. Not, your chitta should not be towards the world. That is where the vairagya comes. Slowly, when bhakti increases, virakti also increases. So, macchitta, madgata pranaha, bodhayanta parasparam. So, when you meet with each other, you will be discussing and telling each other, I read this, I heard this, or this is the feeling I had. Between yourselves, you will be discussing. Kathayantascha mam nityam. Same. Either you will be explaining or you will be discussing. Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. In that you will find your satisfaction and your rejoicing. In that. Not in other things. Slowly that will happen. So, Vani Gunanu Kathane. Your word should be in discussing his name or about Brahman or self or maybe whatever you said. Anyasya dosha guna chintanam ashu muktvari. I said, no? I taught you. That is not speaking about others. Vani Gunanu Kathane. His glories, his excellences should be discussed. Shravanau Kathayam. And your ears should be hearing what? Good things. About God, about self, about Brahman. You are in a group. Some people in a group, always there will be talking about others. He did this, he did that. Or some other things, some plan to go out and get distracted. All those will be there. Shravanau Kathayam. Especially when people are talking bad of others, ill of others, simply go away from there. Your ear should not be lent to hear that. What we do, if somebody is discussing about one person, whatever we have felt, that also we will put in. That is how the discussions go forward. Suppose everybody takes a decision, no, I am not going to talk about others, you will find that you won't have anything to talk about. Yes, once we did so. Few others, we said that you sit together, but you cannot speak about others. For some time they talked something, after that they were keeping quiet. There's nothing. If you see, you will find most of the time the talk is regarding something else and not very fruitful. Vani gunanu kathane shravanau kathayam hastau cha karmasu. And hand should be engaged in his work. Whatever work you do, you should feel that it is his work. It is his work that I am doing. And how do you feel that it is his work? You should be feeling that, no, nothing is under my control. Nothing belongs to me. Does anything belong to us? I've given that example so many times. A mother may take food, a pregnant lady, but has no control over the child who is getting born, whether the child will be having good intelligence or not, or whether the child will be weak or strong. Nothing belongs to us. So take away the ownership from everything. You understand? Very, very important. I did not continue with this conversation with Swamiji, is very long. So I'm telling you the main points. What is Swamiji saying? He told this. Take away the ownership from everything. Understand that I am God's and God is mine. Everything belongs to Him alone. This whole world is His creation, including me, my body, my intelligence, my mind, my senses, my pranas, my limbs, everything. All the ideas, all the ideations, all the thoughts, everything is from Him. Matta sarvam pravartate. That sarvam is sarvam. Sarvam you understand, no? Everything. In that everything is there. Nothing is there without that. So everywhere, in every time, in everything, it is God and God alone. So Swamiji told me in that conversation, you have to do only this much. Remember this only, that He is in everything, He is everywhere and at every time. Nothing else you have to do. See that you are not doing anything contrary. Is it not simple? Maybe simple to hear, but it will be very interesting to do also. How? Vani gunanu kathane shravanau kathayam hastau cha karmasu and manastava padayornaha. And the mind should be at his feet. Yatraiva yatraiva manomadiyam tatraiva tatraiva tavasvarupam. Yatraiva yatraiva shiromadiyam tatraiva tatraiva padadvayam te. Smrityam shirastava nivasa jagat praname. Smrityam shirastava nivasa jagat praname. And considering that you are everywhere in this whole universe, our head should bow down. That is what we are, when we are looking at a hill or a mountain, we are not bowing down. When we break and take out a piece of stone and carve it and make an idol, put it in a temple, then only we bow down. Where from that idol has come? From that hill, from that mountain. We are not bowing down there. Even in an idol, if suppose somebody says that in the front there is so much of rush is there, you go and see the idol from the back side. There is a back door, I will take you there. You will not be satisfied. You want to come in front and do pranam, because we feel there is the idol, the front, that is the idol. So, he is everywhere. Nivasa jagat praname. The jagat is his abode. So, thinking that wherever the head is, do a pranam. Drishtis satam darshanestu bhavat tanunam. And all the eyes should be seeing, eyes should be engaged in seeing the devotees as whom? His embodiments. What does it mean? Seeing him alone in everybody. Him alone in everybody. So then the differences go. I don't like this person, I don't like that person, I'm a best friend of this one. Everybody is best friend. Everybody is best friend. Everybody is my own, my own, my own. That is what yesterday I was telling her, to Hina, that if you have to learn these, to feel God always, you have to come and stay near a person who has realized God. Come near. This is a retreat, not like this. Come separately for some time, not 1 day, 2 days, and then you fly off. Come and be in this presence as you are. Here also, all of you said that you are basking in this presence. So this presence, how he behaves, how he talks, what he does, what is going around in his ashram, in his abode, what all he is doing, what are the people who are around him, what are they doing? To be understanding that, to feel that, to be a part of that, then only we slowly get. So by this actually I am asking all of you to come. All of you should come for a little longer period and take some seva, whatever it is, whatever you can. Even if nothing you find, just be here and be a devotee, that is the seva. Why this place is now vibrating? Because all of you have come with an aim to learn, to listen, and very, very focusedly you are listening and learning the slokas and discussing with each other. That is why it is vibrant, because everybody has that kind of a feeling, that yearning for knowledge, yearning for this knowledge. So I will chant this one. This is I like this sloka very much, and I think that it has been one of the slokas which I have chanted a lot. Vani gunanu kathane
वाणी गुणानुकथने
श्रवणौ कथायां हस्तौ च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयोर्नः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत्प्रणामे दृष्टिः सतां दर्शनेस्तु भवत्तनूनां वाणी गुणानुकथने श्रवणौ कथायां हस्तौ च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयोर्नः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत्प्रणामे दृष्टिः सतां दर्शनेस्तु भवत्तनूनां टुगेदर वाणी गुणानुकथने श्रवणौ कथायां हस्तौ च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयोर्नः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत्प्रणामे दृष्टिः सतां दर्शनेस्तु भवत्तनूनाम् अगेन वाणी गुणानुकथने श्रवणौ कथायां हस्तौ च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयोर्नः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत्प्रणामे दृष्टिः सतां दर्शनेस्तु भवत्तनूनाम्. And one more, which will keep you grounded. That is understanding what you are. I am discussing how to remain anchored in the divine. Always feel that I am the eternal self. I am changeless, imperishable, unaffected. And just remember this. Just like this Vani Gunanukathana is what for you? While you are working. See how you are talking, how you are working, how you are looking at something. And this is to make you feel stronger and stronger. Always. What?
आकाशवल्लेपविदूरगोऽहम्
आदित्यवद्भास्य विलक्षणोऽहम् अहार्यवन्नित्यविनिश्चलोऽहम् अम्भोधिवत्पारविवर्जितोऽहम् आकाशवल्लेपविदूरगोऽहम् आदित्यवद्भास्य विलक्षणोऽहम् अहार्यवन्नित्यविनिश्चलोऽहम्
aharyavannityavinischaloham
ambodhivatparavivarjitoham
ambodhivatparavivarjitoham.
This is from Viveka Chudamani, 499. So, this says that aham, I am like the akashavat. I am like the akasha. Like the sky, I am unstained. I have no lepana. See, if we make a line on earth, there will be a line. If we put our finger on water, there will be a line, and but that will go. On akasha, we cannot make any line. Nothing, no taint, no stain. So like the sky, unstained am I. Akashavat lepa viduragoham. There is no lepana. Lepana means stain. Adityavat bhasya vilakshanoham. Like the Aditya, like the sun, I am always luminous. Self-luminous am I. Aharyavat nitya vinishyaloham. Like the mountain, I am ever unshakable. We cannot move the mountain. So I am unshakable. Ambodhivat para vivarjitoham. Like the ocean, unbounded am I. How you can use it in your life? Akashavallapa viduragoham. Every day, by others' behavior or by our own thought, we are constantly becoming depressed, constantly sometimes condemning us, sometimes we are very angry, irritable. So we are constantly having stain in our mind. So think that I am that, my real nature is actually, whenever you feel like that, sing this. Akashavallapa viduragoham. I am not what I am feeling. Actually, my real nature is that I have no stain. Will you be able to do that? Adityavat bhasya vilakshanoham. I am luminous. See, so many times, because of so many happenings, we feel very dark inside and stuck inside. We feel that how to go ahead now, what to think, what to decide, confused. But we should think that I am like the Aditya, self-luminous. I am always bright. That is my real nature. Aharyavan nitya vinishyaloham. I am like the mountain. Nobody can tell me anything, behave me with me in any manner. Let it be. I will not be shaken. I am like the mountain, which cannot be shaken at all. And ambodhivat para vivarjitoham. I am like the ocean, unbounded I am. We always feel we are constricted with our little ideas, with our preconceived ideas, with our so many kinds of feelings, emotions, sentiments, and our expectations, and our desires. We are constricted inside us. No. We are beyond everything. We are unbounded. Nothing can touch us, make us so. We are unbounded, infinite I am. So this is a shloka. This should be your friend for all the time. Shall we chant them and then we'll stop? Actually, so many shlokas are good. Now that I'm feeling that, this could also be taught and that could also be. But these are not having any meaning. Sanjay, you should give the meanings. Huh? Oh, achha, okay. Okay. Akashavallapa vidurahoham adityavadbhasya vilakshanoham aharyavanitya vinishyaloham ambodhivat para vivarjitoham akashavallapa viduragoham adityavat
तद्भास्य विलक्षणोऽहम्
आहार्यवन्नित्यविनिश्चलोऽहम् अम्भोधिवत्पारविवर्जितोऽहम्. Okay? So, it has been a very good retreat. And when I was, as I told in the first class, I was thinking that what will I talk? And then I think whatever came from my mind I have talked. And this all my life, my journey, my sadhana, and there is always so much of joy in sharing that. I only wish that you'll have more and more yearning. Keep the aim in front of you. Love that aim and never fall from that aim. Sometimes you may be a little distracted, but you should know that this is my aim. And why should you have that aim? Because that alone can give you a fulfilled life. Nothing else will give fulfillment in life. Nothing. No human being can give. No possession can give. No name, fame, prestige can give. It will not give. So that should be the aim. And it is very nice, as I always say, that it is always nice to do sadhana. Sadhana should become very, very interesting. And you have, it's a very good group that you are. And you have made us, I was telling somebody today that a teacher who speaks, the best will come out when the students are also good. So I think the students have been very good, giving a lot of encouragement. So, okay. Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadrumaha Gangam Vari Samastavari Nivaha Punyas Samasta Kriyaha Vachah Prakrita Samskrita Shruti Shiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishte Parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishte Parabrahmani. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Actually, this I should have taught you. It says that Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam. It becomes a heavenly garden. When you are anchored in the Supreme Being, anchored in Brahman, the whole world becomes a heavenly garden. Sarvepi Kalpadrumaha. Every tree is a wish-fulfilling tree. Gangam Vari Samastavari. All the water will be holy and pure. Nivahaha Punya Samasta Kriyaha. Whatever you do, you will be feeling auspicious and holy. That means you will be able to do only that, not other things. Whatever you do, it will become auspicious and holy. Vachah Prakrita Samskritaha Shruti Shiro. And whatever you speak, it will be, whether you speak not good things, good and bad, everything will be as if it is from the Shruti, that is the Upanishads and the sacred texts. Varanasi Medini, and the whole world will become the holy place Varanasi. Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishte Parabrahmani. When you are connected to the Parabrahman, then everything, all avasthiti, all situations will become auspicious and nice. And you know it also. We walk every day. How do we remain connected? We don't think. We are walking. There is another shloka which says that Sanchara Pradayo Pradakshina Vidhi. So when you are walking, actually we are giving a pradakshina. As we go for the temple, we go in a pradakshina. We circumambulate the temples. When we are walking also, we should think, this is a temple of God. So that is how you make the mind divine. Everything that we do, we should feel it is divine. taken a lot of time excess, huh? Because I don't have a time class tomorrow. So I had to make up for that.